That's my favorite tree on campus right over there because I like to put hammocks in it. But everyone's favorite tree on campus is actually right over there. It's that big one. That is called the century tree. It's the oldest tree on campus, and we have a little tradition here at A&M that if it's said if you walk beneath that tree with someone, you're destined to be together forever. Aw, right? Terrifying. So we have sidewalks all the way around it, so you don't have to make any life-altering decisions like that by accident, by any means. But it is a popular spot for proposals, and in fact, on my campus tour, when I was a senior in high school, someone got proposed under the tree, and I realized that that's probably something I would never do. So maybe someday. I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. Yeah, so the citrus tree, beautiful tree on campus. Definitely an Aggie tradition near and dear to the hearts of many Aggies. So that gentleman right over there is Lawrence Sullivan Ross. He is the third president of Texas A&M University, a Texas Ranger, the governor of Texas, and just a great man. He did a lot of great things for this university, brought a lot of great achievements as well. In fact, actually, Mom, could you hold up your hand with your Aggie ring on it? Thank you so much. So that is the Aggie ring. Every Aggie upon the completion of 90 credit hours will receive this ring. I get mine on April 7th, very excited about it. And so that ring is just the most visible outward sign that someone is an Aggie, other than their good looks and positive attitude. So whenever you see that ring, you know that that's an Aggie, and you can talk about A&M, and that connects us all over the world. My mother, we were in the train station in Munich, Germany, and my mother saw an Aggie across the station with her ring, and we went and had a 20-minute conversation, and we missed our train.
Is that really true?
It is on this tour, Mom. Yeah, so, yes. But it is true. It does connect us all over the world. So we have many. I'm sure my mom has many stories like that, and I will too. It's going to be great. So that Aggie ring really does connect us. And the thing about it is, an Aggie gets to wear that ring. Well, what's an Aggie? An Aggie is a lot of things, but an Aggie, one of those things is an Aggie does not lie, cheat, or steal, and they'll tolerate those who do. That's the Aggie honor code we have here at A&M. And that's just our kind of code of ethics. It's the way we keep each other accountable here at A&M, and it's just how Aggies are here. If you're found to be in violation of this Aggie honor code, you'll be asked very likely to leave the university, and you definitely won't be getting an Aggie ring. So we do take it very seriously here at A&M. It really does create an environment of trust and integrity on campus, which I'm sure much reason I definitely appreciate. It's great. If you guys would actually come a little bit closer, I'm going to tell you about a few of our traditions that really set Texas A&M apart. They're a bit more solemn. And they're the ones, these are the traditions by which Aggies remember those from our family who have passed away. We have two large ceremonies for this. One is called Silver Taps, and we actually held Silver Taps this past week on the first Tuesday of each month, in which an Aggie who is currently enrolled as an undergrad or graduate student has passed away in the month prior. We will all gather right here in Academic Plaza in complete total silence at 10:30 p.m. on that first Tuesday of the month. Thousands of Aggies will be here. The family of those Aggies who passed away will be seated in the middle of Academic Plaza in front of Lawrence Sullivan Ross. And the lights on campus will be turned out. It's a very quiet place. Albritton Tower, there are songs playing from that while we're there. The entire Corps of Cadets is in attendance. It's very quiet. And then the Ross Volunteer Company, which is a special parade unit from the Corps of Cadets, will march in at a slow cadence to the middle of Academic Plaza, where they'll fire a 21-gun salute in 3 rounds of 7. Once to the north, once to the south, and once to the west, but never to the east, because the sun will never rise in the Aggie's life again. After that, from the top of the academic building, a special rendition of taps called Silver Taps will play, that's what's played from the north to the south and to the west, but never to the east. After that, we all go back to our dorms, or wherever you live, and we stay silent throughout the rest of the night, more or less. If you have to have a light in a study room like that, you do that. But when we go to sleep, the next day it's just a little bit brighter, a little bit happier, because we realize how lucky we are. We're very appreciative of the fact that we're still here, we're still Aggies, and that if the worst had happened to have been us there, that our Aggie family would have been there for us instead. So it's quite the tradition. The other tradition that we have here at A&M to remember those of us who pass on is muster. It actually kind of started more as like a celebratory kind of field day way back in Old Army. And Old Army is a term we use today to talk about the past. So 5 minutes ago was Old Army, 5 years ago was Old Army. It just means back in the day. So back in Old Army, the Texas National Guard would have the Corps of Cadets play the part of the Mexican Army in a reenactment of the Battle of San Jacinto, which is the battle in which Texas won its independence from Mexico. What happened was we kept rewriting history and winning the battle as the Mexican Army. And so they stopped inviting us to come play that part. But we decided we wanted to have a good time anyway, so they would let classes out for the day every April 21st. and just kind of have a field day, just a day and a half, things like that. But after World War II, that day became a bit more special. It became a day to remember all the Aggies who had died in the past year from any class year. And so nowadays, there's musters worldwide. Whether there's an Aggie within 100 miles of another Aggie, they're supposed to get together, share some food, and talk about their times here at A&M every April 21st. And the largest muster is right here in Aggie land. And it's a huge deal, guys. I still remember my first muster back in 2015 when I was a freshman. It's still a big, fun day. It's a 50th class year reunion, so the class 65, which is actually my grandfather's class year, that was the year for their class reunion. So I went to the muster barbecue and I met people who were in the Corps of Cadets with my grandfather. And I never got to meet my grandfather, but I got to hear all these stories about him. Apparently he was like the most athletic guy in the Corps, and I have no idea what happened to me, but it was amazing to it was amazing to hear about his legacy. Anything like that. I'm not the most athletic. It got better. I'm about middle of the road. We're fine. We're doing okay. But it was just amazing to hear all these stories about him, and just what a tradition. But the best part of muster is the ceremony at the end of the day, the roll call for the absent. And we all gather together here at A&M. We gather in Reed Arena, and if you don't get there 30 minutes early, you're not going to get a seat. It's how packed it is. It's crazy. But basically, they will call out the names of any Aggie who died throughout the past year, and anyone who knew that Aggie will say here in their absence, and a member of their family or one of their close friends will light a candle for them. It's a very powerful ceremony. My great-grandfather's name was called at muster. My grandfather's name was called at muster. My mother's name will be called at muster. My name will be called at muster. I say this in every tour. It's true, though.
You say that?
I say that, and it's true because, I mean,
You don't, it's good. We'll
there's
talk
over,
about it later.
there's over 400,000 living Aggies. I'm one of them. My mother's one of them, and you guys are going to be one of them too. And someday, hopefully far off in the future, like way off in the future, but someday, all of our names will be called at muster too, and we'll be remembered. And there's a lot of great schools out there. I mean, you guys are applying to them. I was right there with you. I applied to 11 schools. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know where to go. But I went on my tour and I heard about muster, and I heard about this school and the people that are here, and I heard that I was going to be remembered, and that's all we really want, isn't it? Right? So I mean, you're going to have a great experience wherever you go, but if nowhere else can you have a great college experience and get that education and also have the Aggie experience. So that's the reason why I'm here, because of the Aggie family. Whew, sorry to drop that on you guys. Oh my gosh.
I start counseling tomorrow.
But it gets them going. Let's see. So I was talking about Sully earlier. We have a fun tradition here at A&M where whenever we need a little bit of good luck, we'll leave a penny on Sully's statue for good luck before a test or exam. That actually gets pretty wild during exam week. I've seen pennies, dollar bills, credit cards, gift cards, lucky socks, lucky underwear, flowers, firstborn children, pets, whatever it takes to get a little bit of extra luck on that test or exam. You're going to find it over at Sully's statue. There's even a picture on the internet. Someone wrote the word procrastination all in pennies in front of Sully once. Because they weren't studying. I wonder how their tests were, but it was fun. So great. Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling this one. Awesome.